Hello everybody and welcome back again to another episode of Dragon Age Inquisition. Alright, in the last episode we have done a little bit of talking to our companions, and I think I will actually do a little bit more talking this episode because there's a lot more talking to be done than I expected. So I think I will continue speaking with Leliana and maybe again with Varric and Solas after that. I think there are even more people I can speak to. However, I want to continue the main mission in the next episode at the latest, so that we don't have, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes just talking to people in a row, but that we have some diversity. So everybody that I don't talk to in this episode will get a good talking to whenever I return. So yeah, let's start with Leliana, since she's right over here.
There were so many questions surrounding Farria's death. Did he think we wouldn't notice? He's killed Farria, one of my best agents, and knows where the others are. You know what must be done. Make it clean. Painless if you can. We were friends once.
Interesting. I think this would be a good opportunity to think a little bit about Freya's character again, because if I want to make such decisions, I need to have a good grasp on her personality, and I think in order to find out what sort of person she is, I have to figure out what she has done in the past, because since she's a bit older, she has more of a past than my previous characters. So, yeah, as I already speculated last episode, I think she has a bit of a problematic relationship with her family, because she obviously didn't follow up on the path that they had planned for her, which would have been a Chant Resistor or Templar. So the question is, what did she do instead? I could imagine that when she was younger, that she actually had similar dreams like Skadkusland had. You know, great romantic dreams of becoming a great hero in a great adventure. And, you know, as fate would have it, that's exactly what happened to Skadkusland. I guess it didn't happen to Freya, however, because, you know, her family didn't approve of it, and more importantly, she had no Duncan that would take her away to some great adventure. So I guess she must have taken things into her own hands, and I don't know, what could she have done? Maybe serving in the army of free marcher cities? Or maybe even be some sort of mercenary? That would be interesting, I guess. And I guess in a sense, her life in the last, I don't know, 10 years would have been similar to Juno's life. You know, doing random stuff for random people. I mean, Juno had an interest in helping her friends, and to a lesser extent helping other people, but she didn't really do it for any greater cause. And I think the main reason why she accepted all those tasks is simply because she was bored, and she wanted the action, and she wanted the excitement. And I think that, you know, Freya probably lived a very similar life in the last years. You know, just for the adventure and just for the action, and no greater calling that she followed up on. And I kind of like that idea because, in a sense, she would be a progression of both, you know, Skadkusland and Juno, because, you know, after doing that stuff for 10 years, she probably wants to change her life now. I mean, what better opportunity to change after something like this happened to you with the mark on your hand and the explosion and whatnot. So this would be a good opportunity for her to, you know, move into a different direction. I don't think she regrets her past, but I think she acknowledges that she has to move on and maybe change her life a little bit. So I guess in the last few years her life has been pretty self-centered and kinda superficial, maybe. You know, kinda like Juno, not really caring about what's going on around her, just, doing it for the adventure, doing it for the coin maybe. And now she suddenly has this mark on her hand that can actually be used to, help people. And that's something very new to her, I guess. So yeah, maybe I kind of like that idea that she has a bit of a past and that she wants to maybe become a better person, be more selfless and more compassionate maybe than she used to be. Not as selfish and hedonistic as she may have been a few years ago. I think she may actually have been wanting to change before the explosion because, she went to the conclave, which I think was her family's wish. So she maybe went there because she wanted to make things up a little bit with her family. But now she has this opportunity to become a better person. And while I don't think that she actually believes that the mark on her hand is some sort of divine gift, I think she acknowledges that it can be used to help people, and that in a sense she, should prove herself worthy of that. So I kind of like that angle that she will try to be better than she used to be. So she may not always succeed doing that, but I kind of want to make her a person that kind of struggles with that, new direction that she wants to take. So what does this mean for this specific situation? First of all, I don't think she will remain silent. That is what Juno would have done because she didn't really want to get involved in stuff like that. It may even be what Skadi Kusland would have done because she probably would have thought it's not her place to do so. But I think if Freya has an opinion, she will let you know. And she's a lot more confident due to her experience than my other characters, I guess. So she will not remain silent. She's a lot more outspoken and maybe a bit stubborn about her opinions as well. So, kill him or not kill him? Now, obviously, I think a few years ago, if she had to answer this question, she would have said traitors deserve to die. But, as I said, she wants to try to be better and maybe be more compassionate and maybe, try to find other ways than she has done before. So maybe we will try to stop Leliana from killing the traitor agent. It's probably a bit hard for her herself to do that, but she really wants to do this. She wants, I want to really be a better person now. I need to change my life a little bit. So yeah, let's do this. Let's try to convince her to spare the traitor agent.
Wait, what are you doing? He betrayed us. He murdered my agent. And you'd kill him, just like that. You find fault with my decision?
Just that one. Killing him is a waste. Probably that too. You could still question him and ask him if maybe he has other plans, or why did he do it in the first place? Was he working for somebody, stuff like that, or did he? Supposedly he didn't just kill the agent for fun, but he had some sort of agenda, and it would be interesting to find out what it is.
If he has knowledge, then he's a resource. Use him. He's a loose end who could escape and get word to our enemies. Butler's betrayal put our agents in danger. I condemned one man to save dozens. I may not like what I do, but it must be done. I cannot afford the luxury of ideals at a time like this.
Ideals are crucial. You should like what you do. Find a better way. Yeah, I think find a better way would probably be the best answer here, because that's essentially what she is trying. I think she can totally understand where Leliana is coming from, And like I said, she would have acted the same a few years ago. But she wants to find a better way, so let's tell Leliana to do the same.
I expected better from the Inquisition's spy master. You've made that point clear. Apprehend Butler, but see that he lives.
Alright. So actually
Now if you're happy, I have more work to do.
So that actually worked. We managed to convince her. Interesting. Well, good work, Freya. Your first step into becoming a better person worked.
Reports of fade rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now is the hope that someone out there can save them. You have to be that someone. No one else has any power over the rifts. Seal them. Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
Alright, yeah. It's a lot of pressure to put on me, but I will do my best. Why do you care about pages? Okay, let's ask that.
Why do you want me to seek out the rebel mages? Why do you care? I've known mages. Some of them were better people than me. And yet I'm free and they're not. It's not right.
Interesting. Alright, let's talk a little bit to Leliana. So, you're Justinia's left hand? Well, were, I guess.
They called you the left hand of the Divine. That they did? What of it?
What is the left hand?
What exactly does the left hand of the Divine do? A Divine always has enemies, and Justinia had more than most. I protected her. I watched, had an ear to every door. I identified threats, and I dealt with them.
And why does she have so many enemies?
Why did Justinia have so many enemies? There were many who felt she was unfit to be divine. She had a past, a worldly life. Unlike many, she wasn't given to the Chantry as a child. She chose it, and somehow that made her unworthy. And because they thought she was unworthy, they wished her harm.
Yeah, sounds like a spy master.
So you were her spy master too? I handled difficult situations that couldn't be resolved through more delicate means.
Alright. Tell me more about Justinia.
I'd like to hear about Justinia. What was she like? A friend. A mentor. Like me, she had secrets, made mistakes. It made her human. I think her followers responded to that.
Were you more than friends? That seems a little bit inappropriate to ask. So, how did you meet?
How did you and Justinia meet? I met her a long time ago, before she became divine.
Yeah.
Before she was Justinia. When I met her, she was Mother Dorothea.
Right.
I was at my lowest. Broken. Lost. And she saved me. No, wait. She hates it when I say that. I saved myself. She just showed me it was possible.
Alright.
We'll talk more later.
Actually, we talk more now. Now.
I'm listening.
Yeah, tell me about yourself.
Let's talk about you. Me?
So, tell me about your past.
What did you do before you worked for the Divine? I was a bard, an Orlesian spy for many years. For a time I also served a small cloister in Lothering. After the Blight, the Divine called on me to oversee her personal network.
I'd like to be a bard. I don't know if she wants to be a bard. I don't think that's something for her. Got any stories?
Bards tell tales. I bet you tell some good ones. There are plenty of tales in the library. Perhaps you should look for them there.
I guess that's a no.
I should leave you to your work. We can always talk later.
Uh-huh. How about now?
Yes?
Any updates?
Anything I should know? I've nothing to report at the moment.
Alright. Is there anything...
They called you the left hand of the Divine.
That they did? What of it?
Alright, there's some stuff that I haven't asked. Why start an Inquisition?
What is the point of an Inquisition?
Justinia would have started the Inquisition if the Divine Conclave failed to restore peace. She hoped that with enough support, we could challenge the very tenets of the Chantry. She wanted the Chantry to treat the mages fairly. But sometimes I wonder, why stop at mages? The Chantry has committed many injustices. If we're going to change it, why not change the whole thing? It's just a thought. None of this will be possible if we fail.
Well, I'll try my best.
I'll try not to break anything.
That's good to hear.
So, why don't you join my party?
I could use the left hand of the Divine at my side out there.
Every agent out in the world is my eyes, my ears, my blade. Wherever my people are, I am also. Coming with you, leaving my post, would blind and bound me. Do you see?
Alright.
We'll talk more later.
Alright, so... Spoke a bit to Leliana. Again, she seems different than I remember her from Origins. Also, let me pick up this loot. And yeah, sure, why not speak a little bit more to Varric?
Need something?
Let's see. I have questions about Hawk.
I read your Tale of the Champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
Alright. Oh, interesting. So... Where are Hawk's friends?
Where are the rest of Hawk's associates now?
Meryl decided to look after the elves left homeless by the fighting. She's done a pretty good job of keeping them away from the mages and Templars, so far. I guess she has plenty of practice avoiding stupid human battles with her old Dalish clan. Fenris has kept himself busy, hunting down the Tevinter slavers who came south to prey on the refugees. I'm not sure exactly where he is at the moment. You can usually follow the trail of corpses, though. Isabella went back to the raiders. She's calling herself an admiral now. I don't know if she's actually in charge or just has a really big hat. Might be the same thing, honestly.
Yeah.
Sebastian went back to Starkhaven. I'm sure he's boring all sorts of people there. Last I knew, Hawk's sister Bethany was doing something wardeny near the Anderfell's border. Aveline is still guard captain. I'm pretty sure Kirkwall would fall into the sea if she quit her job.
Oh, that's good to know. Hey, don't stop talking
Need
to me.
something?
I have so many more questions.
I read your Tale of the Champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what happened to Anders?
What happened to the mage who destroyed the Kirkwall Chantry? The book never said.
He fled Kirkwall with the mages from the Circle. Stayed with them a while, but he had to move on. Somehow a lot of mages blamed him for making them live as fugitives.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is now, and I don't want to know.
Alright, fair enough. Orsino's fate made no sense. I wonder if this is a little bit of self-criticism done by the writers. So, yeah, it didn't really make much sense.
In the book, you say that first Enchanter Orsino turned himself into a giant monster made of corpses. How? Why?
Do I look like an expert on magical weirdness to you? Well, I can't tell you how. For the why, all I can say is he was desperate.
Alright, apparently Varric didn't like that I criticized his writing. So, hopefully he doesn't disapprove if I accuse him of making up the Arashok fight.
There's no way Hawk really could have killed the Arashok. It would have started a war with the Kunari.
I was told later that the Kunari disavowed his actions.
Oh, really?
Apparently the Arashok didn't get permission before he attacked Kirkwall, and the Qun didn't want another exalted march. When they finally sent a ship to haul the wrecked dreadnought away, they just said, "We will never speak of this again." As far as I can tell, that's the Qun's version of an apology.
Alright.
Carry on.
And I can talk to you
Need
more.
something?
I have a personal question.
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
First of all, Varric, how can you run around in this temperature with your shirt that wide open? Isn't that extremely cold? That is the first question that I have to ask. But the second one would be, where are you from?
Are you from Ferelden? Olay?
Free marches, born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no, Kirkwall's not that bad.
Oh, really? So what do you do?
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant?
I'm a businessman. My family has a seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores.
Oh,
In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
alright. So, could you do Leliana's job?
If you've run a spy network, why is Leliana our spy master?
To be honest with you, she's just a better spy master. The truly great ones can keep their distance. They don't get attached to their people. Me, I always wind up babysitting my informants and worrying about their families. We're in better hands with her.
But that's why I like you, Varric. So, what books do you write?
You're an author. What kind of books have you written?
I've tried my hands at a few genres. My crime serials are my most popular. Hard in Hightown, guards breaking the rules to get things done. The Tale of the Champion is the most famous thing I've written, or infamous maybe. I started a romance serial once, Swords and Shields, but to be honest, I don't have a knack for romances. Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says something unfortunate about me personally.
Alright, so, what shops do you own?
What sort of shops do you own?
Actually, we don't own shops. That was just an example. Mostly we invest in money lenders. Auction houses, a few mercenary companies, a couple of smithies. I think we own half a beet plantation in Ravane somewhere. Most of that's my brother's doing. Bartrand had business sense. Not much tact, but loads of business sense.
Yeah, Bartrand. So, how do you know Cassandra?
How do you and Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The guy responsible used to be a friend of mine. The Seeker had questions about that, and I had answers.
And yeah, sure, tell me about that crossbow.
Where did you get that crossbow? I've never seen one like it.
Bianca? She's one of a kind. I won her from Paragon Smith Bronca in a game of Wicked Grace.
Really?
She was such a sore loser. Ran off to the deep roads in a huff, and that was the last anyone saw of her.
Somehow I believe that's one of your extravagant lies. And why Bianca?
Who is she named for?
I can't tell you.
Yeah, why not?
And the reason for that is?
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave it at that.
I'm pretty sure he already said that in Dragon Age 2, that this is a one story he will never tell, so... Alright, that's all.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
Alright, yeah, I guess I can speak to Solas. He should be somewhere around. Yeah, up there. Alright, Solas, where are you? Here you are.
Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
How do you know it was caused by an artifact? So, do you think it survived?
You don't think whatever created the explosion was destroyed in the blast?
You survived, did you not? The artifact that created the breach is unlike anything seen in this age. I will not believe it destroyed until I see the shattered fragments with my own eyes.
I mean, sure, if that was caused by some sort of artifact, then we probably should find it.
We would do well to try to recover whatever created the breach.
Leliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
Let's see. Tell me about yourself.
I'd like to know more about you, Solas.
Why?
Um, yeah, do I really need a reason?
Why not?
Privacy? Caution? Concern about the direction of this Inquisition once our work is done?
Then don't tell me. I wasn't asking as part of the Inquisition.
I'm sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
Let's see. Why study the fate?
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
That sounds dangerous.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
And clearly you woke up at some point.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
Alright. So, is that why you're here?
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If our enemies destroyed the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
Well, I hope that works.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You strengthen your body to deliver and withstand punishment. The muscles are an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
Interesting. So, where have you studied?
You said you'd traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, and you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers. The best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Which battlefields?
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logain's infamous betrayal of Kaelin's forces.
Yeah, tell me more about that, please.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Kaelin fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real.
It is the Fade. They are all real.
So, do you work with anyone?
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
And do you have any, like, human friends or elven friends? Or just spirit friends? So, yeah, wisdom and purpose?
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
Yeah, those are demon names.
You're saying that you became friends with Pride and Desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
So, they can?
You trust these spirits not to possess you the first time you accidentally make a wish?
Do you trust your friends not to turn on you?
Well, yes, but they're people.
Ah, Of course.
You know what I mean.
Are people only people because they are flesh and blood? Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
Varric is definitely defined by his chest hair, but I don't know. I don't think that Freya ever spent a second thought on something like this, or a first thought, to be honest.
I'm certain you have some rhetorical trick ready to counter anything I say.
It's likely. I've had a lot of time to discuss the question with people. Or spirits, if you prefer.
Alright, goodbye.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
I think I could talk to him more though, so let's
What
do
can
this.
I do for you?
Right, tell me about the Fade.
What do you know about the Fade?
A great deal from my wanderings. There are few hard facts, but I can share what I have learned.
Alright. Tell me about the Breach.
I'd like to know more about the Breach.
Simply put, it is a tear in the veil between this world and the Fade, allowing spirits to enter the world physically. Small tears occur naturally when magic weakens the veil, or when spirits cluster at an area that has seen many deaths. But your mark allows you to exert some control over the breach. That means it was created deliberately.
Alright. Tell me about the Veil.
I'd like to know more about the Veil.
Circle mages call it a barrier between this world and the Fade. But according to my studies in ancient elven lore, that is a vast oversimplification. Without it, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
That sounds strange.
I don't know if I can imagine that.
Try. Imagine if spirits were not a rarity, but a part of our natural world. Like a fast-flowing river. Yes, it can drown careless children, but it can also carry a merchant's goods or grind a miller's flour. That is what the world could be if the Veil were not present. For better
Alright.
or worse.
I think that's all far too esoteric for Freya. Alright, tell me about demons.
I'd like to know more about demons.
The Chantry says that demons hate the natural world and seek to bring their chaos and destruction to the living. But such simplistic labels misconstrue their motivations, and in so doing, do all a great disservice. Spirits wish to join the living, and a demon is that wish gone wrong.
So, can we change that?
Is there a way to coexist? To live with them? If not in peace, at least without such active confrontation.
Not in the world we know today. The Veil creates a barrier that makes true understanding most unlikely. But the question is a good one, and it matters that you thought to ask.
Alright, thank you, Solas.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
It's interesting, I got a lot of approval and disapproval during my little talk with him. But, as I understand, there is indeed no approval bar. And actually, I think I like it. I like the fact that there's no approval bar because, you know, real people don't have an approval bar. So it feels more natural that way, that you kind of have to predict their opinion of you by their reaction or something, and that you can't just, you know, look at some number and see, okay, they like me enough, or I need to collect some more points from them. Especially in Dragon Age 2, there was always a danger that you became a bit too obsessed with, you know, getting somewhere to enough friendship or enough rivalry. So I kind of like the fact that it's a little bit more vague in this game. Okay, so I think I have done enough talking for the time being. So, in the next episode I will return to the war room because I sent at least 2 of them on missions. So I can go back and collect my reward. And then we will finally go to the hinterlands. And yeah, once I return I speak to the other people that are somewhere around here. And yeah, so much to do. I still haven't gotten to leave this place, even though I'm already in like episode 7. And still more stuff to do, so thank you for watching and see you again in the next episode.